Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina colada.
On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, 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 yo. Happy Friday, everybody. Can you believe it? And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I know a lot of people are like, man, it's Friday, but look, it's wet outside. Don't worry. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. The weather's going to clear out. You're going to absolutely enjoy it, and you're going to absolutely enjoy the show. Sports 56 Happy Hour is locked and loaded. We got the rundown. We got Alex Kuhn. Yeah, that's right. We got Gabe Kuhn on the other side. That's at G_Kuhn71. His brother at 1:30. At 2 o'clock, baseball. Their top 10, my top 10, and then going through it last night, I might have a weekend thing because there's also, I found in looking, like I found a couple players that I've always loved that I think are some of the most overrated players that we've ever come to love. And that's very interesting, and we're going to bring all this up. So at 2 o'clock, baseball nuts, get ready. 2 o'clock, you're going to get your fix. Hardwood, man, we're going to have to go to break quick because Hardwood is deep, yo. I mean, it is deep. We got guys shooting folks because they're showing the house. We got Earl Thomas, his wife, who just put a 9mm on my man's head. Goes and gets him a diamond chain for his birthday. Again, he said that he wanted y'all to pray for him, and this was just normal wife stuff. So again, I'm not rich. Maybe the rich people really do live a lot different than us. I mean, so like in the same week or in the same whole year that you and your brother are being completely weird in an Airbnb, and I hate to say it, but I think that Airbnb is going to be off the market. Like if I own that house, I'm sorry. I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to let people come stay in my house anymore. Or at least that's all it will be for.
You think there's some freaks out there that want to stay in it more now that happened there?
Oh, gosh, you're probably right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're probably
For
right.
some people, you could raise the price.
Oh, my goodness.
Most people don't want to, though.
You know what?
I wouldn't want to stay there.
They're going to end up turning that to the, you want to have the Thomas adventure? Come on down. We got the Airbnb legit house. Oh, but we got so many wonderful things. Again, like I said, Hardwood today is going to be off the hook. We're going to talk wide receivers. And in the rundown, we're really about to get to it and talk about a lot of things. But right before we get to the rundown, I have on this Friday, because a lot of people out there have been struggling. And I know this, coronavirus, shockingly, did you know this? Australia's doing so good. They've had more people commit suicide during the coronavirus because of depression than actually who have died from the virus. But no, it is a good and bad thing. What I'm trying to say is they've done such a good thing containing it. They've only had 97 deaths as of this morning, and it was like 98 suicide. Like it just passed it. Not like all death is horrible. But you add those both together, and like they're looking at New York going, damn.
I mean, they're just doing a good job of containing
great
the
job.
COVID-19 virus. But the other part of it, not so good.
No.
Not so good.
They had those bad wildfires there this year. But anyway, I was just trying to say, so all I'm trying to say is I know for all you people out there, especially in this country who have been hit very hard by this virus, sports has been taken away from us. We have been forced to live a different life. We really have. We are living a 2020 is not 2019. This is a new pandemic world we're in, and it's got all kinds of new rules. But I want to give you some hope. Is that okay? And that's what I'm going to do. And I want to first start off, and it's going to freak me out. One guy is going to live both his childhood dreams. And his second childhood dream, I didn't know it was going to mean as much to him, and now I like the player a whole lot more. I respect. I mean, I've always respected him. He's a good football player. Unfortunately, great numbers. Couldn't get over it. He's now a Colt. Yes, it's Phillip Rivers, Mr. I can knock it out like Sean Kipp, nobody's business. How many kids you got, Sean? I'm gonna outdo ya. I mean, Phillip Rivers, he came out, and I don't even think anybody even knows this. He said this today, and it got me. He said, "I had 2 childhood dreams, and one was to play in the NFL. The other was to be like my dad, a high school football coach. Now I'm a head coach as my dad did." And he said, wow, how blessed am I to be able to live both of those dreams out. And he got so choked up. He's going to be the head coach after his NFL career. He literally has already come out and signed it. He's going to go take the job at basically Bama High School, which is in St. Michael's Catholic High School, Fairhope, Alabama.
So the question has been this whole time, is he done after this 1-year contract? I think we sort of have the answer.
Yeah, I think we have the answer. And I will tell you one thing. It was awesome to see a guy who's played that much pro football to get choked up to talk about going back to give, to be like his dad and to give to the game. So, one, I just wanted to bring that out to you again. There are good people out there, and there are people out there who are living their dream. And because I talked about Phillip Rivers, who's living both his childhood dreams, I saw this also today. I retweeted it. You can follow me at Johnny_radio. And don't forget, follow Sports56 on Twitter and us on Twitter. Gabe's at G_Coon71. We're broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram, not just AM 560, 96.1, and 87.7 FM. And so I tweeted this out earlier today, and I don't know, when I saw this, it just got me. I think it was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was a little boy, and he's holding out this sign, and it says, "Yesterday was my last day in foster care. Today I am adopted. Hello, my name is Donovan." That was just something to make you feel better. It was really awesome. So I guess I started kind of Phillip Rivers, man, he's living his childhood dream. I see a kid whose dream of getting out of foster care has been answered. And I'm like, where's that sports athlete right now who is actually, doing it? You know what I mean? And there are a lot out there who are. But then I came across something that I never probably thought I would have come across unless I'd saw the Rivers and then this young kid. And I don't know, but do you know who? And by the way, his name is Maine. It's M-A-N-E. But you know Memphis and Maine, right?
Wait, his like first name is Maine?
Last name is M-A-N-E.
Oh,
Maine.
God.
You know, we went
first
straight
name.
like Main Street to Maine.
Yeah.
But his first name is Sadio. It's S-A-D-I-O. So I could be wrong. He's from Senegal. He's a Liverpool star. Now, I'm going to tell you about this guy, and the reason I'm bringing him up is because he makes $10.2 million a year. Now, a fan spotted him, and he was carrying this broken, cracked, crummy phone. And the dude kind of checked on him and was like, "Yo, dude, you make so much money. Why you have this broke down phone, and why are you wearing the kind? You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't you balling?" Basically, is what the fan kind of said to him. The response was also videotaped by his. I hope it goes viral because this is what he said. I want to read this to you, and I just have to say, this dude's my new favorite Maine in the whole wide world. Serious as a heart attack. And if this does not put the whole world and give you a little lesson in humility and just living life, or modesty or whatever, I don't know what does. But here's his response to the guy who was checking him in his broken phone. He said, "Why would I want 10 Ferraris? I could have them. How about 20 diamonds? 20 diamond watches or maybe 2 jet planes. Would that make you happy? What would that do for the world? I starved for years. I worked in fields. I played barefoot my whole life, and I didn't get to go to school. Now I can actually help people. I prefer to build schools and give to poor people. I give food. I give clothing. I have built more schools. I have stadiums. I play in stadiums. I build them stadiums. We provide clothes to children. We provide shoes to children. We provide all the things I never had. I provide food when the nights that I was starving. For the people in extreme poverty in my country, in addition, I give 70 euros per month to every Senegalese person from my very poor country in order to contribute to their entire economy and to the family economy. I don't need to display luxury. I don't need cars. I don't need a car. I don't need a luxury home. I just need a modest house. I don't take expensive, lavish trips. I only fly in planes when the team puts me in one. I prefer that my people receive a little of what life has given me. Damn man.
Someone who gets it.
Somebody who gets it. Like, and what do you say after somebody says that to you? Dude tries to check you, you just can't say nothing. So, my man, Mr. Maine, you are the main. By the way, Gabe, you are the main. Bring it up. It's time for the rundown. It's Friday.
Oh, let's lead it off here with Kansas, man. Kansas is in a world of hurt. The NCAA is on to them. They have been referred to the IARP as well as someone we're close to, Memphis. All right. They had 5 Level 1 violations, 2 Level 2 violations, and 1 Level 3 violations. You know what's funny about this Level 3 violation is
it's on football.
It was football with David Beatty, and he won like 2 games his whole time there. So if you cheat and can't win, I can't really help you. But the NCAA cited a lack of institutional control. They said these infractions were egregious and severe, and they significantly undermine and threaten the NCAA college model. They also say Bill Self not only allowed but encouraged Adidas employees and consultants to influence top recruits. Now, this is something we know the FBI has been investigating for a while, but nothing's been done. Do you think this is the start of a widespread crackdown in college basketball?
You know what? I do not know if this is right now for show because we are all sitting at home and they're like, hey, we'll pretend we'll take a little couple drops of blood and we're going to level all these sanctions. We're going to put, quote, this. And by the way, if y'all don't know, like when we hear this, what is it, IRC or whatever?
IARP.
IARP. It's a 5-person panel that all has sports background, education background. The cool thing about it, a lot, you know, they're supposed to be like almost like the Wizard of Oz, the all-knowing group. The thing about this is, do you know that you can't appeal their decision?
Sure can't.
So once this comes down, it's coming down, and it is like basically law for Kansas. So are they going to come out and slap Bill Self? Interesting. I thought so, except for today and when I saw Kansas's response. Holy cow. They came out swinging, and they are defending, and they said that they will continuously and vigorously maintain that their allegations claimed are simply an incomplete collection of misleading facts and assertions. You don't disagree about Adidas and all the stuff in court. You took $197 million. They said in open court that they were funneling players to Kansas. You didn't deny any of it, but then today you're like, these are just horrible, horrible allegations. Like, I don't know where they come up with these facts.
Now, there's 2 cases referred to the IARP, and I don't think they're close. Like, Kansas's is way up here where Memphis's is way down here. I think the IARP has their work cut out for them. I'm wondering what's going to happen next. Now, Jim Harbaugh, yesterday, Michigan head coach, can't get over the hump of Ohio State. We've talked about it several times. Sent a letter to the college football community, and he said there are early bloomers capable of competing in the NFL and earning a livelihood at an earlier age. The goal would be to create a scenario that makes adjustments for all current and future student athletes that puts the timeline for transition to professional football at their discretion and that of their family. I propose an option that allows them to make a decision that is best for them. He also proposed sort of an NBA model, whereas players can consult agents, still return to college, as long as they don't receive compensation from said agent. And they can also return if they do not get drafted. I personally think he's onto something. There are hurdles he might have to step through. But what say you? What do you think about all this?
You know what I honestly think about this? I don't think Jim Harbaugh has ever in his entire life or career, playing or coaching, done anything that did not help out Jim Harbaugh. This is, dude, Ohio State's beating the brakes off me. I got to look like I'm part of these new kids and the millennials. Come on here. This steak and milk thing didn't work, dadgummit. Beating Buckeyes on top of, dead gray. I got to do something. So maybe he comes out, looks like he's now a player's coach and for all this, and he's trying to appeal. I don't know what he's trying to appeal to, but I think it's actually the player that he's trying to, get. And he knows it isn't going to happen. NFL doesn't want it. They're not going to let it. Let's just be real. The NCAA has all the control, so he can go out, grab a microphone, and he can sure kiss all kinds of 17-year-old keister. It's not going to matter unless they believe it. And if they believe it, maybe some of them won't become Buckeyes and will actually become Wolverines.
I like the thought. It really does help student athletes, but at the end of the day,
I still think
it helps him. It helps him drastically in the fact that Ohio State might have a lot of guys leave a lot earlier, and the SEC will have a lot of guys leave a lot earlier, where he might be able to retain some of his guys. So I see where you're coming from there. Yep. Now, Jalen Hurts, second-round pick. I want to ask you first, were you surprised he went in second round?
Yeah, I said he was going to go in the third, and you were shocked to think that I thought he was going to go as high as
I thought he was a third or fourth rounder. That's what I saw.
Yeah, third or fourth rounder.
Now,
I thought somebody was going to reach with him. I am shocked that by all the teams, it was the Philadelphia Eagles. Has anybody seen how much they're paying Carson Wentz?
Yes, that's what I'm getting to. Wentz, they interviewed him the other day, and he said he's okay with the pick.
Yeah,
he knew that they were going to have to go sign a quarterback after the late season situation they had with Josh McCown. He's back retired, I believe. But he says he's in for whatever helps the team. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination Jalen Hurts is going to be playing a big amount of quarterback. They just paid Carson Wentz 4 years, $128 million. So if you think that Jalen Hurts has a chance of taking that starting job, I think you're sorely mistaken. But what do you think, if you're the Eagles, what is your plan of action with Hurts?
I honestly think that they are scared to death about what they did and the financial commitment to Wentz. And I'm starting to worry if Carson Wentz, who's that alpha when he first came out, you know what I'm saying? Dude, he was beating everybody. He was taking that job. He wasn't welcoming somebody like Jalen Hurts up in here, open arms, wanting to make out, be like, yo, I'm so glad we got you with the third pick, even though we haven't had a wide receiver since Aguilar, who was dropping everything, like my man who was catching those babies. I love that. Anyway, I just find it weird, and maybe a guy like Doug Peterson sees something in Hurts that maybe in a couple years they ain't re-signing Wentz once he's a free agent. Yo, this contract, that option, they ain't giving him $30 million to come back, yo.
What about the time being? Do you see a Taysom Hill type of role for him, or do you think that Taysom Hill is the only person you could compare to Taysom Hill?
I think Taysom Hill is the only Taysom Hill. People, stop it. Stop it. Just because, Taysom Hill, do we know he was going to be damn Taysom Hill in the NFL? No. I mean, Taysom Hill's a bad mamma jamma. And by the way, Jalen Hurts ain't going to be playing on the running back.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts ain't covering punts.
He's not covering punts. He's not going to be on all the special teams. Taysom Hill is a different type of baller. Jalen Hurts, I think this. You won't see him this year in case Wentz goes down, which it seems like he always does. I think Peterson is breeding him possibly and grooming him because he knows mentally between the ears, the kid's got it. But can I teach him the position of quarterback while I have to pay Carson Wentz these next couple years? I ain't got to pay you that much. Maybe the kid's got it, maybe he doesn't. It's a third-round pick. It's a second-round pick. And for a quarterback, it's not that much money. High reward, low ceiling. I think he's just taking a shot because they're scared about how much money they got with Wentz.
And I'll take a risk on a winner any day.
Yep.
Now, the NFL on Fox posed a question this week on Twitter, and it actually caused an uproar. There's a lot of new school guys that forget about Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask you, they posed the question, who is the best wide receiver of all time? What do you think about this?
I hate to be rude to everybody, and I don't want to be sound like a jerk or arrogant, ignorant. I'm not. Listen, it's not a question. I'm going to give you, and I'm going to tell you, the best. I'll give you my top 5, okay, of all-time wide receivers. And you can think to yourself, well, damn, he's so much better of an athlete or this or that or that. Look at the numbers. Nobody's touchdowns, receptions. Please look at Jerry Rice's bleeping numbers and tell me that he's not one. From 1985 to 2004, people, this man played national football, wide receiver in a level that is ridiculous. He's got Super Bowl rings. He's done everything that's ever been asked of him, yet somehow, since he hadn't played in, what is it, 16, 15 seasons?
Retired in 04.
Since he hadn't played in, we got some kids who can now tweet that don't remember him playing. They're like, Jerry Rice couldn't even play. I literally, a dude told me on Twitter, remember this? We were laughing about it. Said Jerry Rice would not start for Alabama.
So here's the thing.
I laughed I literally almost fell out of my seat and said, wait, hold on. Jerry Rice, I texted him back to make sure I wasn't crazy. I said, so you're telling me at his peak, Jerry can't play for Alabama? He's like, hell no. I was like, okay, I quit.
The new school thought. Now look, Jerry Rice, all the major statistical categories, receptions, receiving TDs, and receiving yards, he's number 1.
Yep.
All time.
And we're not talking
in those categories, he's
yards,
number 1 all time. Now,
touchdowns.
Right. The question here is who's the best wide receiver of all time, correct?
I think it's Jerry Rice.
Now, absolutely. The championships, the winning, the numbers are all there. I think people are mistaking it for most talented wide receiver of all time because you look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. I don't think anyone can argue that. There's 6 championships there. The stats are there. He did great with the Patriots for years, now with the Bucs. Jerry Rice is the same way, right? I think there's a lot of quarterbacks with a lot more talent than Tom Brady that didn't have the same numbers and same output and production as him. Jerry Rice, while I don't think he's the most talented wide receiver of all time, there's no argument, in my opinion, that he's the best of all time at the wide receiver position.
Easily the best because of the numbers, the years, all that stuff. But I'm going to give you the 4 right behind him. I want you to think about these guys, and one of them, Randy Moss. And by the way, this was very hard to do. He's different than Jerry Rice. But a lot of things, the reason Jerry was before him, a lot of people said to me, Randy Moss, greatest man to ever run a 9 route. You ever seen Jerry run one? Dude was vicious. He'd come get one. Larry Fitzgerald, just
beautiful
one of
pick.
the
Love
best
that pick.
Damn pure football players of all time who plays the wide receiver position. He catches, he blocks. He's a damn football player. I love it.
I'm still sad he doesn't have a Super Bowl.
He's
one of the most upstanding NFL players and citizens that we've seen in a long time.
Ever seen. And then number 4, I have Calvin the Freak Megatron Johnson. How could you not? He's the beast. And then this is going to be hard. This is what 5 for me was so hard it's not even funny. But do you know what basically kind of put him over the edge for me was just his swagger and how many damn touchdowns he caught. I had to throw my man Chris Carter back up in there because my homie did nothing but catch them touchdowns. And I honestly believe this. I think he helped Randy Moss become a professional. I would have loved to seen Randy in the Tennessee Titans uniform because they probably would have gotten that Super Bowl instead of Kevin Dyson. But who knows? We'll never know. That's my top 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 9. Let me know what you think. I know some people are going to want to say Isaac Bruce up in there, or maybe Antonio Brown or Steve Smith, the little smallest dude that ever did it. Tim Brown was hard to leave out of there. Heck, Andre Johnson did nothing but just play at a high level, but he wasn't there. One guy, though, I want to ask y'all, his brother, he's on TV. He was never him. Sterling Shepard. Is he a top 10 wide receiver? Shepard. Sure. Man, I'm thinking of crazy things. Sterling Sharp. Shepard is playing. Sterling Sharp and his brother, this might be one of the best football families. There's some great football families I can go on. But think about these two, pass-catching brothers. And if he doesn't get hurt, what would his career been at Green Bay? Because Sterling Sharp was on the way to have one of the greatest careers, and him and Brett Favre were about to break the record book wide the bleep open. Hit me up, 67129. Coming up next, Alex Kuhn. That's right, Gabe's brother. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hertz. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheim for Sunrise Chevrolet. A lot has happened overnight, and just wanted to let you know we're open at Sunrise for all your automotive needs. Service, body shop, parts, and sales. Go online to sunrisememphis.com to schedule an appointment. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% up to 84 months with deferred payments up to 120 days. You can shop online. We'll bring the car or truck to you. At Sunrise, we know you want to feel safe, so bring your car to any Sunrise location. We'll disinfect it at no charge. Find new roads to Sunrise Chevy in Collierville.
From nurses to truck drivers, doctors to grocery clerks, the front lines in today's crisis are filled with brave actions every day. And you can do your part by completing the 2020 census. This simple effort online, by phone, or by mail will help impact the next 10 years of healthcare, schools, and roads. All of our first responders need your response. So go to 2020census.gov today. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour with your very good friend Johnny Radio. Of course, Gabe Kuhn is in the house, and it's a Friday, y'all. And I'm telling you, everybody sit back, relax. We just had a great segment. We were rocking and rolling. Again, I told you that we were on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, plus the AM 2 FM channels. You can look at us. You can listen to us. You can find us everywhere. First segment, though, I told you about Sadio Maine. And Maine, he might be the nicest guy I've ever heard of, except for Alex Kuhn, man. He's now, well, he's my Korean baseball handicapper. That's right, KBO Handicapper of the Year. And he happens to be Gabe's brother. What's up, Alex? How's life?
Oh, it's not going too bad. How are you doing, John? It's good to have you back.
Dude,
good to hear from
thank you, man. I'm glad to be back, man. My brain.
Al, we were making a joke yesterday. You heard the Earl Thomas news, right?
Yes.
So,
I definitely heard the Earl Thomas.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and John was asking me how close me and you were. I said, we're not that close. We're close, right? I'm going to have him on the show tomorrow. We ain't that close.
That was so good, dude. I guess so. I just looked right at him. Oh, that was really good. But no, Alex, and by the way, Alex and Gabe, y'all do the TKT, what is it, TKT podcast every week?
Correct. We do the podcast, and we're starting to kind of take it more onto video and YouTube and social media. So we're doing a bunch of the sort of video shorts about the topics of the off season. We just did one on the Chicago Bears and the quarterback situation there. So, we're trying to keep people entertained. I know there's not a lot going on, but people are starved for content. They want things to look forward to, so we're trying to deliver like you are.
Man, and you know what was crazy, though? There is a lot of stuff that there is to deliver. Like, we're going to talk a lot of NFL, and I kind of actually tweeted this out earlier today. Well, I'm going to laugh a little bit about Korean baseball in just a minute, but before I do, I tweeted this out, and I kind of wanted to know what you thought about this. I'm just shocked about, like for me, MLB is talking about having its season, like if they weren't so, I think, screwed up in their approach and sending out such bad information. Like, I felt like Jeff Passan and Ryan Fagan with, like, competing articles and fighting on who had more information. And then little Tim Kurkjian came in, and it's like every baseball person's agreeing. Like, put it on the MLB network, and you realize, like no live shows were going. They're just showing, like, over and over that Dead Gum movie that I love with the dog and the baseball. What is it? Baby Ruth. Come on, dude. Y'all watched it. Every single kid.
Are you kidding me? The Sandlot?
Thank you. I can't remember the Sandlot.
Baby Ruth.
Thank you. Well, that's what I remember when the kid says that with the ball. But he's like,
okay.
And they're like, Babe Ruth. You know, that's just one of those things. So I knew if I said Baby Ruth, it would get you. Unless you thought of Me Chunk You Sloth. Yeah, the great Bambino. But
that would be dear.
That would be dear. But how is the NFL with the NBA possibly coming back? MLB, the NBA, who's supposedly the best at, showcasing their stars. How has the NFL held the top spot with everybody's attention? I wake up this morning, everybody and their grandmother's talking about the schedule being released like it was a free crack giveaway back in the day when Dave Chappelle was doing Tyrone Biggums. You know, I mean, it was crazy.
I mean, the way that they've done it is it sounds pretty morbid to say this, but they kind of got lucky with the timing at the beginning of this, that they didn't have to suspend their season. They could have their off season go as usual, and they're having like we always talk about with the NBA, how they rule the off season, how their brand, and honestly you could argue that their biggest time of sports headlines is the off season. The NFL is doing that and then some with this time period, and I can't fault them at all for the way that this has gone. I was a little skittish at first. I have to be honest, where you're talking about free agency and millions of dollars going to athletes in a time where people are hurting and people are out of jobs and struggling to pay the bills. And I took that into account at first, but the way that this has gone, we've needed it. We've needed a distraction from all of this, and the NFL has, to their credit, I'm a critic of them at many turns, but they, to their credit, have done a great job of supplying that. Now the struggle is going to be what becomes of their season. The schedule's released. Are we going to see a camp start on time? Are we going to see a season uninterrupted? Are we going to see no fans in the stands? They're going to have to face all these questions, but so far they've kind of glided through the off season and not let this interrupt it pretty darn gracefully.
It sort of seems I saw Roger Goodell talk about the fact that they're preparing for not having fans in the stands. And also we talked to Jake Elliott earlier on Middays, and he was saying that they cannot come back to camp until all 32 teams are able to. And I wonder, like, state to state, how that'll work out. I wonder if they're going to be able to start on time at all at this point.
That's the problem right now. The point that you just brought up, Gabe, the state to state. Well, they're not going to start until all are able to come back. Right now, I think that the biggest problem with all of this is there's no one-size-fits-all plan that you can put in place that would work in Memphis. The plan that would work in Memphis is not necessarily going to work in Philadelphia, or the plan that works in Philadelphia is not necessarily the best plan for San Francisco or Seattle. So the first thing that all these decision makers are going to have to realize is that you can't make everybody happy. You're not going to please everybody. And the plan has to be around safety. There's going to be some risk to it. We're going to have to get used to weighing the risk with the reward, and this is not going anywhere. I think that's pretty clear at this point. But that's going to be my interesting, or the most interesting thing that I'm following, because the NBA, when they're opening up their facilities, they're saying, you know what, some places can open up, others can't, and we're not gonna step in and make this quote unquote fair, because this is not a fair situation. We're not going to be able to please everyone. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the different leagues approach this very topic, fairness.
I was thinking about this, right? The 32 teams, how tough it is to get all those states on the same page. Then I thought college football.
Dude.
You're talking 130 teams. How in God's name? I mean, I'm becoming increasingly more pessimistic, because it seems impossible to get all 132 teams on the same page. And I know that they've talked about cutting some of the non-conference schedule out, but what if you have in-conference opponents that can't play and don't have students on campus? I'm starting to be a little more on the pessimistic side.
Well, here's the reality of that right now. Not having a college football season, I think, would mean financial ruin for a lot of athletic departments.
And speaking of that, Chris Hummer did a great article about that. By the way, Alex, I retweeted that. He's coming on Monday. Check out that article. It's going to shock you how much these deadgum athletic departments were basically gambling, yo. It's a good article. Check it out. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I will have to check that out. But that's going to be the thing to watch, because I think there will be a college football season of some sort. The problem is going to be, like you said, Gabe, trying to get everybody on the same page. And you know what? I'm going to say it. You're not going to get everybody on the same page. The state of Oregon has already decided that they're not going to allow fans in the stands in September. That wipes out one of the marquee games of the season.
Do you want to know where I got some of my serious information? You're going to laugh, but hey, Stan Kroenke spent $5 billion. I know y'all don't like him. I want to set up a little TKT,
said that name, didn't you?
A little fight maybe between y'all. But this dude leaves, takes the Rams, goes out to Inglewood, spends $5 billion on this super stadium, supposed to open up with Taylor Swift. Did you know that she canceled her performance, which is going to cost him $30 million? And they're saying this dude could lose literally so many billions if the Chargers and the deadgum Rams don't open their season in Inglewood on time this year. It's not even funny. So the celebration for Mr. Stan Kroenke could be a celebration of, damn, I was rich, and man, I messed up. Didn't know it was going to be a pandemic in 2020. It's just he could be in serious trouble. Do you think, you see Taylor Swift canceling. We're watching Korean baseball where we don't know what MLB's going to do. Are we going to see NBA? Are we going to see the NBA or MLB before we even get to NFL?
That's a great question, John. The thing that I keep coming back to is, I know that the hardest part of all of this is the uncertainty. It's the hardest part for you. It's the hardest part for me. It's the hardest part for all the listeners out there. That is one of the worst feelings you can have in life, is to not know what's coming. But at this point, we just have to wait and see. And the next 6 to 8 weeks is going to tell a lot. And I have that timeline because I've been listening to Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren, and he's kind of said the same thing. He said, all right, we are going through all the options. We have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way down to Z, and we're realizing that almost all these plans are not going to work. There's going to be risk involved in all of them, but we have to wait and get more data from the scientists and from the public health officials before we know what the best course of action is. And I would say just keep your eyes out for the next month to month and a half, because we're gonna know a lot more about whether or not baseball it's realistic to bring them back. Did you see the proposal of the regional play? I know Gabe didn't like that all that much, but that may be the best course of action. And you're seeing college football too. Conferences, Greg Sankey in the SEC, Kevin Warren in the Big Ten, saying it is absolutely on the table to have conferences just play each other. Maybe make sure that everything is regional this year, and some schools would be allowed to. Some schools that could play, that were able to play, could play. Some may not be able to play, but I think we're going to see a college football season in some form, whether that's in the fall, whether that's in the spring. I'm not sure, but I just hate to be a decision maker right now because there's no right answer. Like there's going to be no perfectly safe answer to doing it, but we're just going to have to do the best that we can in this situation with what's here.
I think all these contingency plans that we've heard from the MLB and all of them sound dumb on the surface until you actually have to put them into action. Because I think we all need a distraction, and they're just trying to find ways to be able to do that for us. But I also don't know how much I appreciate Rob Manfred and all these MLB people putting out all these plans and giving you these set dates when realistically I don't even think that dates should be set. I think the NBA has handled it with grace, and Adam Silver has not even put a preliminary date on when he thinks it'll all be back to normal. He doesn't know what the future is at all, and he's making it clear that he doesn't. And I think a lot of these commissioners need to start adopting that before it's too late and they start angering their fans.
Yeah, and this has been a kind of a problem of we need straight talk. We need to be completely honest with everyone, and I've always been of the belief that you never overpromise. You never over-reassure if you can't deliver on something. So when I hear a commissioner, when I hear somebody who's in charge of making decisions for sporting leagues or the NCAA, I have no problem with them leaking some of the plans that they have out there and saying, all right, we're going to check back in on June the 1st or July the 1st, and we're going to check every 3 weeks, and we're going to be in constant contact with people who know the data and who are trying to come up with the best plan. But yeah, this is what I've always said. If somebody tells you they know that that so and so is coming back on June the 1st, that this is coming back on July the 1st, or that this is going to happen, it just seems like they're setting a lot of people up for disappointment, and I don't think that's helpful for anybody.
All right, now I got to do a little bitty joke at the very, very end on a TKT because I want you all to know that, seriously, as everybody knows, Gabe Kuhn is going to get to know Alex a lot more. I want y'all to check out their podcast, but I want to ask you two brothers, are we living in an era, if the NFL season does start off on time, when you got a guy like Cam Newton who can't even get a deadgum job? You know about Colin Kaepernick. You know about a lot of the guys that are not able to come in and play. And you look at what Lamar Jackson did, what Patrick Mahomes has become. Aaron Rodgers, they're drafting a quarterback because they're thinking he's old and he looks like he's still a baller. Tua coming into the league, Joe Burrow in the league. When you look around the national football just landscape, are you saying to yourself, we have made it, so much easier on the quarterback because we don't kill them? Or dadgummit, the quarterback position has just gotten that much better?
To me, I think that it's a little bit of both. Although, here's the thing. Right now, the NFL has adjusted and kind of blended a lot of the college game into their own game. Like they've done a good job of realizing, you know what, we don't need to be cookie cutter. We don't need to do this one way. We can run the ball. We can have a good offense that can run the ball and throw the football. We don't need to limit any facet of our game. And because of that, you see these talented quarterbacks going into good situations and succeeding and being look at Joe Burrow, what he did at LSU under Joe Brady. Joe Brady, an NFL coach. Joe Burrow, his final year at LSU, Brady gives him an entirely new system, and he picks it up at the snap of a finger. And NFL offenses in the past really haven't been that way. You're looking at guys that 2, 3, 4 years, that's what they need to develop and learn the verbiage and learn the the speed of the game, and it's just such a big adjustment. It's still a big adjustment, but it's not as big as it has been, and I do think we're sort of seeing a little bit of a golden age of quarterback play in the NFL, and the rule changes and a lot of it favoring offense certainly does not hurt.
Well, if you need to get your fix for a little Korean baseball analysis, that's my man Alex Kuhn. Follow at Alex Kuhn 523.
Hey, Al, I'll meet you at the Airbnb later.
That is, brother. They're not quite as close as the Thomases now. I do promise that. Hey, we'll do this again really soon. Alex, be good out there, brother. That was a lot of fun. I'll talk to you down the road, my man.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for having me.
Man, that was pretty nice talking to your brother, Gabe. I ain't going to lie. That was a little fun. Now, I want everybody who's hitting me up, Coach Rogers. What's up, Coach? Glenn's hit us up, and he said, don't forget Steve Largent, Johnny. Come on, Steve played. Think about those cornerbacks he went up against and all that stuff. Yes, Steve Largent, he was another good one. Isaac Bruce. There's so many good wide receivers out there. Keep them coming at 6'7", 129, and plus. I'm going to come back on the other side, and I'm just going to mention about the difference because we've never been possibly in the air, and I know somebody's going to say Flutie Flakes. Look, that was one little small era. But think about the difference. Like when you look at the quarterback today, it is literally like, you got big guys, little guys, fast guys, tall guys. I mean, it's like, it's crazy. But we'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, let me tell you a little secret. I am, and I always will be, your pusher man. I'm going to push y'all a little information. We're going to give you a little baseball information on the other side because guess what? We're still talking National Football League. And again, I told you, Taylor Swift is already canceled. She's not opening up the Inglewood Act. So we are hoping that maybe it will be the Chargers or the Rams that open things up. But we're talking about the NFL wide receivers, how great they are. I mean, a couple of people have been texting, of course, like Steve Largent, Isaac Bruce, all kinds of other great guys. Michael Irvin. They said Duke could catch a touchdown and party all night long. Yeah, I know what you mean, dude. He was a party machine. He was a baller. Steve Smith, pound for pound. I know what you mean, dude. He was a little dude, but don't forget, pound for pound, also Antonio Brown.
I just wish he wouldn't have ruined it.
Yeah,
now,
I know.
Along these lines of wide receivers, the NFL has officially done away with pass interference review.
I know.
I mean, in unsurprising news of the day.
It's
by
literally
the way, very unsurprising.
It was 1 year they did it for one very simple team in New Orleans, and then after that, it was like, okay, now we don't have to appease your fans.
It wasn't it just to appease them too. It wasn't about. I don't think it was ever about actually making change.
It wasn't about rules. It wasn't about change.
It was just holding them over for a year.
Referees, it's like, hey. While y'all are going bananas down there in New Orleans, we're going to throw you a bone, and then we're going to take it back away. But y'all are so drunk anyway, y'all forget. So they got their 1 year, didn't do anything for them. But this is what I wanted to ask, and I asked the brothers, the Thomas brothers. I meant the Kuhn brothers, who are meeting at the Airbnb later. They said, I asked Alex and Gabe, and we were talking about quarterback play, and I want you to think about this. Andy Dalton is going to back up Dak Prescott. You got Jared Goff, who has already made it to a Super Bowl, who's not even considered a top 10 quarterback. Patrick Mahomes may be one of the best of all times. I mean, this guy's got a Super Bowl MVP, an MVP. He is bad to the bone. But also look at just the different styles. You have the Matt Ryans to the Russell Wilsons. You have, Tom Brady out there who's still doing it with his brains, to the athleticism of somebody like Carson Wentz who can't stay healthy. You got Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins, a little Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. Look around. You got the mustachio man because they're trying to get Trevor Lawrence, I think. College quarterbacking is getting good, but the National Football League, you better be good quick because you ain't going to get a long time to play.
It's truly a golden age, and we are not that far off to where those spread Mike Leach-style quarterbacks were actually looked down upon by the NFL community. Now that Pat Mahomes, what he did with Cliff Kingsbury at Texas Tech,
dude,
since we've seen what they've been able to do, the whole mindset is switched. I truly think it's a golden age. You have some veterans that are sort of on their way out, and you have some young guys.
Winston really 1 year behind Drew Brees and he wanted to learn?
Yeah, I absolutely think that. And I still think he's a good quarterback, and I still think there's a lot there. You just got to cut down on the interceptions. So
Carr going to hold the spotters and lose it.
I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine.
It's gonna be
eventually Gruden's going to get tired of him.
Sam Darnold going to make his quarterback in New York.
People believe in him.
Wow. We got, like I said, right now, the NFL somehow, and I think it's because, one, it's extremely talented. You got ballers all over the field. And plus, the timing of the league, we still are holding out hope that we can get, it to start on time. Well, we got a lot of news, and it's going to be going towards baseball right here on the other side. But never forget this. memphisfarmers.com. My very good friend Chad Gatlin, he's got you auto, home, life, business, whatever you can think. Go to memphisfarmers.com. That's memphisfarmers.com. My friend Chad Gatlin, because I'm telling you right now, nobody's better. That's 901-235-1176. 901-235-1176. He's number one in my book. Who's number one in the MLB? Find out on the other side. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then go to Babbel.com, download the app, and try it for free. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just go to Babbel.com and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com and try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Right now, it feels like the world's standing still. But if you look to the land, it's a whole different story. From farms to backyards, wheels are turning, seeds are being planted, animals are getting fed, grass is growing, and families are giving their all to the soil. Because no matter how uncertain things get, the land never stops. So to all those linked to the land, John Deere says thank you. We're here for you because we all run together. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Though we're apart these days, we're sharing more. And Geico would just like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Now it's Geico's turn to share too with a Geico Give Back. A 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. And because Geico's committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for info and eligibility.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me Saturdays 8 to 9 a.m. for Sidelines here on Sports 56 WHBQ, 87.7 FM and 96.1. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, and your favorite team. Give us a call. That's Sidelines, Saturday mornings 8 to 9 a.m. Sidelines is presented by Duncan Williams Asset Management. So get up and give us a call.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. on AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home.
Get out right here. Ladies and gentlemen, and now?
Now, the only man to ever win the World Series of Poker with a Scrabble board, Johnny Harden.
Yo, 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 what do you say? You say what up to the Say Hey Kid, or all kinds of stuff, because you can think of any good baseball reference that you love. Hit me at 67129 on the text line. Call us up if you want to talk a little baseball. 901-360-8255. It's Sports 56 Happy Hour with your very good friend Johnny Radio and Gabe Kuhn, and we're going to talk baseball. Now, ESPN released its top 10 baseball players of all time. I know that my girlfriend last night thought that I was Walter White and must have just what is it, Jesse Pinkston, who actually does the product, because I had papers all over the deadgum floor, and she's like, what are you doing? Dogs are like biting yellow little pieces of paper and running all over the place, because breaking down the bottom 30 was so hard. Some of the people, though, I knocked off, and then some of the things that I noticed last night, that some of the guys that we have come to love, or at least like when I was a young kid, I watched Nolan Ryan, okay? When Nolan Ryan was pitching, and I actually got to go see him, like one of the very many blessings of my life. I got to go, and my father took me to see Bo Jackson and like Nolan Ryan. I saw it was Tom Browning's perfect game in Cincinnati. Very fortunate, a lot of lucky things in my life. Many Chicks games, by the way. I love those things. I miss those days. But seeing him made me also think of Nolan Ryan as even larger than life. And you talk constantly about when you say Nolan Ryan, what does everybody bring out? Strikeout record.
I think of him headlocking Robin Ventura and beating his brains in.
The absolute hell out of him. That's a great one, isn't it? I actually like that one, by the way. I want to tell you something. That's one of my favorite ones that you just brought up. And you know why? That's great, because that is one of my favorite memories, because that's another one that made the legend of Nolan Ryan grow for me. Like, I thought for sure when we did this, Nolan Ryan was going to be in my list.
I think one of the more interesting things about doing an all-time list for the MLB is, baseball has been around
so long.
Since 1869. To think about how many players you're choosing from, and to think about you have guys probably from the 1910s that might end up on this list because of the statistics they put up at the early stages of the game. It's just the history involved when you're talking about the MLB is deep.
And I'm starting off with a pitcher, because I thought for sure I was going to have Cy Young, Sandy Koufax, Nolan Ryan. I thought I was going to be very pitcher heavy. Found out I had one pitcher in the top 10.
At number 10?
Nope. There looks like six. And it'll be very interesting when you hear who it is. Now, there is a lot of great pitchers out there, and there are a lot of deserving pitchers. But for me, it's like to look at the different eras when you had certain pitchers who only had to face a certain colored athlete, or you had pitchers who were taking steroids, or you had people like Mariano Rivera. I don't care. Mariano Rivera, a lot of people say, and this is another thing, he has a career 2.23 ERA. My man has the most saves in the history of Major League. I mean, my man, let me just tell you something. In the ninth inning, when the game is on the line, and you heard that sound, Enter Sandman, the game was over, homie. And the fact that you were so awesome and you did it with one damn pitch. Let's be real. From Randy Johnson's nastiness, we could say that was the greatest single pitch in the history of the sport. Who could hit it? You knew it was coming. You still couldn't hit the damn thing. So I love Mariano Rivera, but no, he didn't make my list. But again, Nolan Ryan, I thought for sure. And the reason I'm bringing this up, these are honorable mentions, of course. They're great athletes. But I didn't know this. How many Cy Young Awards did Nolan Ryan win?
Yeah, I don't know.
0.
You're kidding.
I was shocked as hell when I saw that, too. Never earned
That seems like it should be a known fact.
Now, I thought his wins were going to be so much different. Career 324 wins, which is awesome, but he has 292 losses. He's got a 3.19 ERA, which is damn good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the greatest. But the thing that bothers me, he has a 1.25 whip. A 1.25 whip. That's pretty damn high for the great. You know, I mean, he leads in Ks, 5,714. But you know what? He threw for 27 damn years. Longevity does mean something. Trust me, I believe that. And he did have a long career, and he did throw 7 no-hitters. Dude is very impressive. But those 7 no-hitters carried almost like, and that beat down of Robin. And, of course, you know, when I saw Nolan Ryan as just larger in life. And last night when I really sat down and looked over it, like Pedro Martinez, holy hell. There was a 7-year stretch. He was the most dominant pitcher. Oh my gosh, you couldn't hit that dude. Like, there were pitchers that were better than my man Nolan. But 27 years, it kind of reminds me of Cal, who played in so many consecutive games, but I will still never say he's the greatest third baseman ever. I mean, Mike Schmidt could argue that. You got a bunch of guys who could, you know what I'm saying? So there's some great guys out there that you're always going to remember. And again, MLB, this is fun. So hit me up at 67129. This list is not perfect. It is my list. And there are some like great dudes that I had to leave off that break my heart. And I will tell you, no, Pete Rose is not on my list. Didn't even come close.
Then that's a good place to start, because on the ESPN top 10 MLB players of all time
Give
list,
it to him.
Pete Rose is number 10. John, what you got?
Oh, number 10 is Pete Rose. I got Barry bleeping Bonds. And by the way, before I do that, Pete Rose, I just want to say this real quick. I can't believe they have him at 10. He's a career 303 hitter. That's it. He only hit 160 home runs. Do you know he had 14,053 ABs? You can run into one, and he played with a cork bat, okay? And again, he's also has court documents where he has, in the document says, I swear, Your Honor, I thought they were 16. Thought they were 16. Sick perv. He has a 1 MVP. Woo. Dude, I can't even believe it. 2 gold gloves, a silver slugger, and they got this guy in the top 10. He didn't make my top 50.
So as far as Barry Bonds being at 10.
I have Barry at 10. And do you know why?
Do you think he's lower or higher based on
if he didn't take steroids, he'd be higher.
Okay.
If he didn't take steroids, Barry Bonds would be one of the greatest. I mean, he is a career 298 hitter, but he has a career 404 on base average. His like slugging is 607. He hit 762 home runs, which is more than Babe or Hank Aaron. Okay? 762. And yeah, he was juicing, but dude, hitting a home run in San Francisco, none are cheap. That's a big ballpark.
I remember I used to go out to San Fran all the time. My grandpa lived out that direction. We would go to games. At that time, it was, what was it? Pac Bell Park at that time. And it seemed like every time he stepped to the plate, he hit one. I mean, it was unbelievable. The 73 home run season was one of the most incredible things I have ever seen. I know it was helped by steroid use. I get that. But good God, that's still impressive. I take some of it away, but I can't take all of that away from him.
I cannot take it all away either. And the fact that he is that low on my list also just shows how unbelievably hard this damn list was. Because number 10, I got Barry bleeping Bonds, who, again, he hit 762 home runs. I just want to say this real quick. Bonds, 14-time All-Star, won 8 Gold Gloves, 12 Silver Sluggers, and this is so impressive, 7 National League MVP awards. Bam, that's almost a mic drop. And by the way, how many players do you know out there? He's the only man in the history of the world to steal 500 bases and hit over 500 home runs because he's hit 760, what was it, 2 or 3?
2, I believe.
762, yeah, 762.
Now, number 9, ESPN decided to put in Mariano Rivera, fantastic closer for years.
Couldn't do
all-time saves leader, but a relief pitcher. So, I think that's where you might have reservations in putting him in your top 10.
I love Mariano. It's interesting. I talked about him. I think he had the most devastating pitch. It wasn't that. Not like John Kruk, who was scared to death of Randy Johnson, the big unit, when he got in the box. It's not Satchel Paige. It's not the most intimidating person. It's not the smoothest dude like Greg Maddux, man. He might have been the greatest pitcher, actually, mind. He might have had the best mind to ever stand on the mound. Plus, he was a Gold Glove. He might have been the best pitcher. I mean, Cy Young's got the most wins, but he could have pitched in any era because he was a genius. Sandy Koufax, whose career was cut short. Like, there's all these great pitchers that I couldn't put on my list, and I can't take Enter Sandman and pass all those people. Mike Trout, the only player that plays today that is on my list, is number 9. And he's already passed Barry Bonds, and you're saying, how the hell? Yeah, well, let me tell you. His career, he only has 4,340 at-bats. His on-base percentage is .419 for his career. His slugging, .581. He's almost up there. By the way, just so you know, he's got 285 home runs, the fastest to that. He's batting a career .305. He has 200 stolen bases, and he's still a damn pup. He has 3 MVPs. He was the Rookie of the Year, 7 Silver Sluggers, 8-time All-Star, and has the largest contract in the history of sports. If he doesn't get in the top 10, who in the hell else does?
Now, number 8 on this side was Ricky Henderson. And I think it's interesting when you put Ricky Henderson in there. Like, hitting-wise, probably not as fantastic. He was really good at what he did. But his stolen base record is probably, when you look at a broad spectrum records in sports, it's one of the most unbreakable records that we're going to see. He's first at 1,406 stolen bases. Second is at 938. That's Lou Brock. He won by such a wide margin. That stolen base record's absolutely crazy. I couldn't put in Frank Robinson, 204 stolen bases. I couldn't put in Jackie Robinson, who broke the color barrier. He also won the MVP, dude. I mean, I can't put in a guy who spoke in the third person, wasn't a career 300. He's not the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. Happy that he stole a whole lot of bases, but really, we put in the WAR. We do this WAR metric. What does a stolen base do you? Did you know if you study the WAR metric, they actually tell you not to steal bases because it's more likely to get you injured, causing you to miss time, blah, blah. Therefore, you're not on the field actually playing. So therefore, another person is the wins above replacement. They're on the field more than you. It's hurting you. Yeah, Ricky, I think that's a crock. You know who my number 8 is? Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. You know Marilyn Monroe? Do I need to say more? How can Joey D not be in there? I love Joe DiMaggio. I thought it was interesting just to think about like how popular of a figure he was and just the simple hit streak. Who's broke the 56-game hit streak? No one.
That's right. He's actually still holds his damn record. 56-game hit streak, and Marilyn Monroe. You get my top 10, homie.
You don't need to say any more. 7 on this side from ESPN was Roger Clemens making the list. Obviously a steroid-era player, but you can't deny what he did with the Yankees for years and the Astros.
I hate their list.
I can tell.
So, hold on. Roger Clemens was 8?
Seven.
7? They had him 7. Okay, so hold on. They had Pete Rose at 10.
Mariano Rivera at 9. 8 Ricky Henderson. 7 Roger Clemens.
Yeah, Ricky and dude, this is crazy. That is so crazy. I can't believe it. I got Mickey Mantle. How could you not? It was so hard to think about like where they go. I got Joey D, and the reason he was 8 is because he had a 56-game hit streak. 325. You would think Marilyn Monroe might have put him over it. No, it really didn't for me. Mickey Mantle was just that dude, and he is, in my opinion, the greatest switch hitter ever to play the game. He played a mean center field, too, and when the Yankees were great, think about all the World Series he won. Think about all the drinks that he drank, and he still was the baller. I got to just say, the Mick. Because I got Willie up there too.
Now 6. ESPN has Walter Johnson. I think this is a decent pick. He
I
played
like
from
that
1907 to 1927, second all-time in wins at 417. Only 279 losses, 2.17 ERA in his time. Who do you have at 6?
I have to say that Walter Johnson pick was damn good. I'm very, very, very impressed with that one. Who do I have? You're going to love this one. Hank Aaron. How could you not? Hank, longevity, the years that he played, the home runs, just the class that he was, the remembering him run around the bases, seeing the guys go out there and congratulate him. It was actually kind of a scary time
and
back
pre-steroid era, 755 home runs.
Good point. Great, man, that's a great point. You know what, dude? Josh Gibson and Walter Johnson are probably two of the greatest baseball players that nobody ever talks about. So I do have to say I'm glad Walter Johnson was on there. In fact, they said that back in the day, Johnson, he was a bad mamma jamma. But I will say one other thing. Josh Gibson, it was it Satchel Paige who said he was the greatest hitter ever? I think it was. I really do. I have to look at that one up. But I can't remember who it was, but it was one of them. Hank Aaron, how do you say anything better than him? He's just a baller. He's definitely up there. He's my number 6. Who they had number 5?
Ted Williams, the only guy in recent memory, well, not even in recent memory, but 400 average, 521 home runs, 344. This is ridiculous, though. 344 lifetime average. And you got to understand this guy played 21 freaking years in Major League Baseball.
Wow, that is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. I got to go with Lou Gehrig. Greatest moment in baseball, possibly. If he didn't have ALS, what would he have done? He was a 340 hitter, hit 493 home runs, 1,995 RBI, 102 stolen bases, on base percentage of 450, and he's Lou bleeping Gehrig. One of the greatest hitters.
You're pretty loaded
ever.
with Yankees on this list, aren't you?
Dude, yes, I am. But, dude, they are ballers. What can you say?
You can't help it. Now, number 4 for ESPN, they had Hank Aaron. You had him at 6, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So I'm at number 3, right?
You're at number 4.
I'm at number 4. Oh, man. Willie Mays. Willie Mays. Dude played center field like nobody's business, 302. Dude had 660 home runs, 338 stolen base. He was the say-hey kid. Man, what can you say about him?
In the catch at the Polo Grounds, by the way.
The catch at the Polo Ground. Just how could you not have the say-hey kid in there? You know what I mean? I love it.
Number 3, they have Willie Mays, so not that far off. Who do you have at 3?
Oh, number 3. Man, this one was so hard for me. You know who I went with? They had Walter Johnson, didn't they? See, I had Josh Gibson. And the reason is because only thing is he passed away at the age of 35, just right before Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. And I did look it up. A bunch of the people, it may have been them, but it was Satchel Paige who said he was the greatest hitter that ever lived and the greatest baseball player he had ever seen. And just hearing that from Satchel Paige, and they say he had over 800 home runs in his career, I got to say Josh Gibson.
Nice. Number 2, they have Barry Bonds. You had him at 10. I'm sure you would have had him up there in this category, the top 3 if he was not part of the steroid era, but who do you have it to?
Oh, man, talk about getting hard right there, but how could you not have Ted Williams? 344, last man to hit 4 home run in the season, 2-time AL MVP, also had the Triple Crown twice in his career. Did you hear what I just said? He had the Triple Crown twice. So, yeah, Teddy Baseball.
Yeah, you can't argue with what Ted Williams did. I'm sorry, but a 344 lifetime batting average is like.
And by the way,
are we going to see that again?
And by the way, think about it. This dude went to World War II. He had some of his best years taken away from him. And he was the last dude to hit 400.
Are we going to see a 340 lifetime average ever again?
No. I mean,
it just seems impossible.
Was the guy who I thought, God, I'd have to look and see what it was, but he would have been the closest. I don't think we're.
And especially with you have a lot of
trying to hit home runs.
Yeah,
they do,
it just seems like no
Never.
way. A lot of strikeouts. Now, we might have an agreement.
521 home runs.
Yes, he did. Sure did. Now,
not just the average. He had
I
power.
want to know here at 1, do we have an agreement? At 1, ESPN's list of the top MLB players of all time, they have Babe Ruth.
I do too. I didn't want to put him there until I looked at it. And how in the hell could I not if I knew anything from my head to my keister? The Bambino, 714 home runs. When Babe Ruth was playing baseball, he hit more home runs than the league. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I don't think people understand about how great Babe Ruth really is. I'm just going to give you a little career statistic really fast. 342 career average. Okay? He had 2,873 hits, almost got to the 3,000 hit club. He even stole, I don't even care about that, but he stole 123 bases. I was shocked. He had 2,213 RBIs, 714 home runs, stood forever in the impact that he had on baseball at that time. I don't even know how he couldn't be one. He was the Sultan of SWAT. He led the American League in home runs 12 times during his career. He won 6 AL RBI titles. He won more than 20 games twice as a pitcher while leading the league in ERA and home runs. Think about that. He led the league in ERA, wins, and home runs. That is a different Triple Crown than most. You know what I'm saying? That is just different.
It is insane. Now, give a quick rundown of 10-1 of what you had.
It was Babe, it was Teddy, it was Willie, Lou. I had Gibson, Aaron, Mickey, Joey D, Mike Trout, and Barry Bonds.
Surprised Mike Trout made it for you. I really am.
Dude, $425 million.
No, I don't blame you for
3
it.
MVPs.
Talent-wise, no question.
I had to put him in there, and I didn't have any pitchers. At the very end, I took the one pitcher out because you know what? I can't put any pitcher in there. It's just too hard. Cy Young, he's got the award. He has the most wins, but look at the era. Sandy Koufax career cut short. Greg Maddux, maybe the greatest mind for a pitcher. The scariest could have been Randy Johnson. There's so many great pitchers. I just couldn't do it. Isn't that weird? Satchel Paige. Like I was looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. And then when they had Roger Clemens in there, I got so mad that I was like, no pitcher is going in here, period. ESPN has ticked me off.
Spur of the moment pick?
It was one of those
to
things
not include pitchers?
And the fact Pete Rose was also in there almost just made me
I gotta say I am a fan of Walter Johnson at 6.
I like
ESPN
Walter
rankings.
Johnson. I can't believe Josh Gibson didn't make it. I like Walter Johnson, but again, I don't know. From the book that I read way back then from when I was young, it was about it literally was all about the Negro Baseball League. And it had all the stats. And Walter Johnson was up there. But the way they talked about Josh Gibson, it was almost like he wasn't even a real person. And I think maybe because his life was cut short at 35, Lou Gehrig as well, but, his numbers were dope as could be. But Josh Gibson, having Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, having guys like this say that he was the greatest ball player and athlete to ever live, that is just like some love right there. So I had to throw in Josh Gibson. But again, Walter Johnson, he was a baller. And again, I wasn't going to put a pitcher in. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't do it. Not when Roger was in their ESPN's top 10. Sorry, ESPN. Pete Rose, Roger Clemens, Mariano Rivera. Y'all did a bad job. I'll be back in 2 shakes, but always remember this. What? Chad Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com. That's right, MemphisFarmers.com. Give them a call, check them out, or just go to MemphisFarmers.com. Get a quote and 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, auto, home, life, business, renters, whatever. Or if you like to talk, 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. They also got COVID-19 resources. Check them out. It's my very good friend, Chad Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com. We're coming back with my favorite segment of the day, Hardwood, because it feels so good. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles, when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC-accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselimbembrace.com.
Our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
Hi, everybody, The Herd. Over 50 years ago, two men with a passion for motorsport and engineering began building race engines in an old abandoned mill. They saw an opportunity on every wide open road and an invitation in every curve. It was a chance to push the envelope, break all the rules. It was a chance to prove that a 2-ton family sedan could have the performance to compete in a 24-hour track race. But shocking the competition and building a reputation, it wasn't enough. Their vision was to expand upon the excellence they had created. This engineering company continued to validate their belief by putting race car engines in luxury sedans and proceeded to stun the elite in world motor racing by winning and winning and winning. We may never truly understand what drives Mercedes-AMG to break barriers, along with every record in the book, but here's to allowing us to enjoy the results. Learn more at mbusa.com/AMG. Mercedes-AMG. Driving performance. Hi, it's The Herd. If you're now waking up and realizing that Mother's Day is only 2 days away, don't panic. But you do have to knock this out ASAP, right? Today's officially your last chance to celebrate all of the special moms in your life with 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, 1-800-Flowers has last chance Mother's Day gifts, bouquets, arrangements. Great way to make every mom feel loved when it matters most. An amazing selection of treats and sweets and bouquets. 1-800-Flowers has something for every mom. Committed to safety, too, of their team members and your family. 1-800-Flowers, all deliveries are contactless. And with limited delivery, you need to lock in your order early. So hurry and order today. Mother's Day gifts, bouquets, treats, arrangements. To order, go to 1-800-Flowers.com. Click the radio icon and enter the code HERD. Mother's Day is Sunday. Order today and save. 1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train.
Sing it, Jerry. Listen to that whistle, baby. You know, we're about to go in and do a little bit of Hardwood, and we got some great stories to talk about. We've had a great day today. Big thanks to Gabe's brother coming on here, man. That was really actually cool. We talked about a little bit of everything, and it got the text line a little bit fired up because, you know, we were talking about who's closer. Is it the Coons? Is it Alex and Gabe? Or is it the Thomases?
Hey, we got an Airbnb as well, man. So who knows? But we have some text on the First Bank text line, 67129. Hit it with your favorite wide receivers, your top 10 MLB players. We've been talking a lot of things that I know you guys want to interact with. Someone says Marvin Harrison should go ahead of Chris Carter.
Ooh.
In your top 5.
You know what? I kind of, listen.
I mean, it's opinionated.
So.
Opinionated.
Personally, I do like Marvin Harrison, and he did have a lot of his career has to go with the fact that he played with Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne and the Colts and the high-flying offense. But then you can say, well, Harden, didn't they play with, the big night train throwing the bomb straight up to Randy Moss? But even before Randy Moss, Chris Carter, all he did was catch dadgum touchdowns. It is so subjective. I kind of have to say I'm going to go with Coach. Coach Rogers called in, and he's also a football coach, and he said, listen, Harden, you put Rice at number 1, you got to get up there and put Largent in the top 5 because what he did just –
And it was a different era,
and it was a different era.
2 people say you got to throw Lance Allworth in there as one of the best NFL wide receivers, and also we have 2 other people saying Fred Biletnikoff as well. And you want to talk about new era, a different era. That right there was a completely different era.
Yeah, it was.
Also, we have Raider Corey chiming in, talking about his top 10. Now, let's compare his top 10. 10, he has Stan the Man Musial, 9, Mickey Mantle, 8, Honus Wagner, 7, Joe DiMaggio, 6, Lou Gehrig, 5, Hank Aaron, 4, Ty Cobb, 3, Ted Williams, 2, Willie Mays, and everybody clearly has Babe Ruth at 1.
Man, you know what? Not bad. I had Babe at 1. I had Ted Williams at 2. He has Willie Mays at 2. I have Willie Mays at 3, just a flip of them. I'm sorry, the last man to hit 400 is just squeaked by the Say Hey Kid, but buddy, it was hard because the Say Hey Kid, like if you're a baseball fan, he just looked like he was out there having some dead gum fun, and that's how you want to play the game baseball. But you know what? Ted Williams, that is one dude that was a feared dead gum hitter. Like you could not get him out. And he went to World War II, so we missed some of his best years. Now, I love the Ty Cobb pick, except for I didn't put him in my list. And you could say, well, John.
Same reason as Pete Rose?
I was going to say, well, John, you didn't actually put in a good baseball. I know he hit 366. I know he has tons of home runs, but he was also known as the biggest a-hole to probably ever play the game. And there's just something about like let's say Aaron Hernandez would have actually finished his career. They didn't find out that he committed murder until after he played, and he ended up being better than Gronk. Well, guess what? Maybe he got in the Hall of Fame before they found out about all of his stuff. I would have been like, nope, he ain't my top 10. I don't care if he's in the Hall of Fame. Don't like him. Kind of forgot him. It's kind of like that. I hate to say it with my man Ty Cobb. He was such a – just some of the things I've heard about him, he was a repugnant person. Yeah, he was. I couldn't put it up there, but as a baseball player, I can't argue with you, Raider Corey. Hank Aaron at number 5. I had Hank down at 6, and then Lou Gehrig. He has him at 7. I had Lou. Where did I have Lou? I had Lou, I think, at 4. I had Lou at 4. His ALS, his life got cut short, and I still think the greatest speech ever. If you haven't seen it, go see Lou Gehrig. It's one that will touch you. Anyway, I love his list. He's got then Jolton Joe DiMaggio, 56 games, and he has Honus Wagner up in there. He almost made my list. Mickey Mantle did make my list. Stan the Man Musial didn't. He just was off of it because I had to move in Mike Trout and Barry Bonds. But thanks for listening and great list, Raider Corey. But I will say this. You know what time it is, don't you, Gabe? It's time for some Hardwood, baby.
This is Access Hardwood.
Wowzers! And I have to say thank you to all you people out there who keep giving me all these things in Hardwood to talk about. It has been absolutely crazy. Where do we start? Well, there's a lot of places to start. Like, this is going to really mess a lot of guys up there. And I know that we're supposed to be social distancing, but this is very important, men. And now, I'm not even talking about, oh, by the way, I meant to mention this, because this is kind of like how men don't pay attention to things. Well, also sports fans a lot of time don't pay attention to things. Did you see the report that came out yesterday about the brains? It's amazing how they just wash over that report. 110 out of 111 brains after this study into CTE from all these football players who donated their brains. 110 out of 111 brains had CTE.
It's sad that that's not front page news.
it was 13 in the whatever it was. I can't remember if it was like LA or the Times or the Post or New York, whatever. But one of the pages, yeah, it's like you had to go 13 pages to find it. Yet the new NFL is still leading with all of their scheduling out. Hey, Drew Brees and Tom Brady. But that brain thing, nobody's going to talk about. Now, I'm bringing this up because, men, I want you to listen because y'all don't like to think about things that can hurt you. Do you know what they have just found out in a lab? And it's scary to me because I think dementia and like Alzheimer's disease are two of the scariest diseases known to man, because forgetting who you are, or if you see a loved one go through this, there is nothing more heartbreaking than your loved one forgetting who you are or seeing the fear of them not knowing who anybody is. It is a horrible disease, but do you know what new researchers have found out? Do you know what one of the largest, they say they think they figure out the largest neuroinflammation for men could come straight from this? What do you think it is?
No idea.
Herpes, homie.
What?
Herpes. Don't get herpes.
Neuroinflammation?
Yep, it's leading to neuroinflammation.
Are we talking about genital herpes? What are we talking about?
No,
what
yeah,
kind of herpes?
Of course, yeah, the herpes.
Genital
the
herpes.
Herpes, baby. Not the fever blisters. I call those fever blisters. Okay? Those are little like, hey, you kissed a girl, you got a little fever blister. No, I'm talking about the one that comes back to visit all the time. You don't want to get it, buddy, because they say that now research has been published in the Science Advanced Medicine that they think this is one of the leading effects and one of the big reasons that a lot more men are actually contracting it or like now than women. And they're like, well, what was the difference? So they start looking and they're like, oh, well, look at all these dudes. They got herpes. They looked into it. The virus they found inflamed their brain, which helped start the process. Which was, by the way, I didn't even know. It takes a long time. Do you know this thing starts like 13 years out? So be careful out there, boys.
I didn't know it could help with that, though. You heard about what Elon Musk is saying, right?
You, sir,
he is saying that there's a chance the AI brain chip, Neuralink, his company will be putting implants. I don't know if it could do that. I don't know if you can cure that. You keep that forever. But it could help with the inflammation, I think.
Probably
right?
could.
But he said that they might be putting these AI brain chip implants in humans within a year. He made a similar claim in 2019, saying that he hoped to have an implant in a patient by the end of 2020. He doesn't think that will happen necessarily, but these things are actually very interesting in the fact that the chip could potentially be used to restore eyesight, hearing, limb movement, and diseases that directly affect the brain. And that sort of goes along with that last story. It could possibly help the inflammation from herpes.
Now, this is a big thing because I was going to bring this up. This is great. I don't know if I'm going to volunteer as the first dude because I don't want to get like, it's kind of like this. Have you ever seen the first, have you ever seen like I'm trying to think, the first Cadillac? Like, it is big. Like, it don't look too pimp.
It's an eyesore.
Yeah, it looks like a big eyesore. But you know, like you see like the STS Cadillacs now, like they look like nice and sporty and stuff. Totally different car. You seen the old school Porsche? It had like Porsche on the back. Looked very, very cheap, and like they said this was the best car. You look at a new Porsche, you're like, damn. So what I'm saying is, I don't think I want the first model brain chip from my man Musk. And wouldn't you feel a lot better if it wasn't Elon Musk talking about this? Because this is a dude who came out, and I feel like he's just crazy because he just wiped out like $7 billion. And he came out and said, man, I think our stocks are just like way overpriced, Joe. Like, who comes out the head of a company and says things like that? So the fact that it's Elon Musk does make the whole brain chip thing a little bit scarier for me.
But the thought of what it could do to help people, I'm here for. I am completely here for it.
Again, I'm here for that. But Elon Musk, let's be real. Do you think is he genius or is he borderline crazy or both?
I think both is. And a lot of these geniuses with genius IQs are crazy too. Like they
read about that Tesla dude. He could have we'd be in a different world.
The Tesla
now.
Dude is
like Nikola Tesla. He did alternate current. Like the whole power grid. but he wanted to do, Wardenclyffe. And anyway, don't even get me started.
I won't.
Yeah, don't get me started. I was going to say, don't even get me started. But now, I'm going back to also bring up this. Bryce Harper says he wanted to return to the Nationals. I wanted to ask Gabe Kuhn this question. I feel like a jerk because I feel wrong. I came out last year or around the time and said that Bryce Harper, how can you not sign with the Nationals? They put $300 million on the table. I said, and I feel like what I said was right, but I feel like I just didn't have all the facts. Now that I have all the facts, I'd almost like to slap myself from back then because I have to say this. Bryce Harper did the right thing, and let me fill you in. So I think if you can sign a contract that you started your career, you were drafted by one team, and in baseball you could literally finish your career and make $300 million and be beloved by one fan base, there is something for that. So I'm like, in the world of $300 million, what's a couple million? And plus endorsements, yada, yada. Well, guess what? The terms of the deal actually were released by his agent, and it's been a year. I mean, he played for Philly all last year.
Hey, it turns out there's some deferred payment going on in there.
Deferred?
Some ridiculous.
$100 million deferred? Just so you know, I want you to listen to this. His last payment from the Nationals, if he would have signed that contract, would have been $20.72.
Now, $20.72, look, I hope Bryce lives a very good, long, healthy life. But there's a pretty substantial chance he might not be around to see the payment.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, $20.72? Who signs that kind of contract? So, Bryce Harper, I just want to say, I'm sorry. I understand why you went to the Phillies and the Nationals for going out there and saying, I don't know what his problem is. We offered him $300 million and he didn't sign it. So if he doesn't sign it, fine. Dude, nobody wants to get deferred till 72, yo. And especially $100 million. So shame on you, Nationals. Might have been one of the craziest things that I've seen in a long time.
And I know you feel bad about what you said back in the day now that you see that. Now, did you hear about this Oscar De La Hoya, Conor McGregor thing?
Oh, no.
So,
you're filling me in.
De La Hoya was on a CBS Sports podcast called State of Combat about all the combat sports. And they were talking about, the Floyd fight against Conor McGregor. He made it 9 rounds. Floyd ended up handling him. And then they asked Oscar De La Hoya, mind you, he is 47 years old. He's been doing his pretty boy, or what is it? What's his name? What's his nickname?
It's something
I can't think of it. Golden Boy. Yeah, Golden Boy Promotions. He's been doing promotions for quite a while, since 2008 when he retired. And they asked him, okay, how would you fare against Conor McGregor right this second? He said, oh, come on, brother. I'd knock McGregor out in 2 rounds. Are you buying that?
No.
Or do you think Conor McGregor would wipe the floor with him?
Dude, I think, in all honesty, see, this is where, so sadly, this is how bad fighting has gotten. Like, UFC, I never really
You just talk about fighting. You don't actually do it.
Like,
no.
Yeah, they all talk about it. They don't ever do it. But you know what? I would actually like to watch Conor McGregor, and if he wants to open up his mouth, come on, Golden Boy, go in there and let him knock the bleep out of you. Like, I kind of am not a big Oscar De La Hoya fan. He's kind of annoying.
47 years old, and you're going to say you're going to beat a guy in his prime in the UFC? And I know he doesn't. In a boxing ring, he's probably not the most well-versed, but dude you're 47, man. You've been retired. You've been retired for 12 years.
But that also says sad things because, like the next heavyweight fight I'd rather see is Tyson and Holyfield 3.
No, that's sad. That is really sad.
Because
Conor McGregor came back.
Man and Ruiz.
Yeah, he's eating a lot of sandwiches. But Conor McGregor came back on Twitter and said, "I accept your challenge, De La Hoya." So I doubt we'll see it though. De La Hoya was probably just talking out of his you-know-what.
Yes, I agree with that, absolutely. By the way, I did tell you all about the whole situation, about a whole lot of things, but I got to bring this up real quick. Have you ever tried to sell your house?
No, I have not.
No, you haven't? Okay, well, a lot of people out there have. And if you want to sell your house, guess what? I'm going to tell you a secret. You will not get shot out like my man Shannon Brown did. Now, if you call 901-406-1101, get my buddy Bill on the phone, bing, bang, boom, I promise you he will buy your house, any area, any condition as is. Hell, he'll even take a call from Shannon Brown. But he will not do this. He will not shoot at you. By the way, Bill is the bomb diggity. He's been on part of my show since day one. I've known this man for a long time because it's been now over a decade because he bought my home when I got myself in a little trouble. And I'm being serious as a heart attack, and I'm also getting into another Hardwood funny story about, it's not even a funny story, it is a crazy story. But if you want to sell your home, do not go to Shannon Brown's house. Just call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. But holy heck, what was Shannon Brown doing, yo? Have you seen this?
I have.
I still am confused. Maybe you can, because TMZ confused me more.
You know what? No, I can't help you. Because
can't?
I have the same information as you. I can't help you on why he decided to do what he did.
Come on, invites them into the back and
Yeah.
then starts. And
he's selling his house,
and
by the way.
He's selling his house. Like, there's let me explain something to you. There's those signs in the yard that says for sale. And you know how people go out there and get the little thing, and sometimes they'll knock on the door to see if you're home and maybe check it out. Happens all the time. It's just part of living. Nobody invites two people, hey, come on in and check my house out. And then when they leave, you drop 5 to 6 shots. Dude, cops come up there, they find a shell casing, you're now getting arrested. Like, dude, only thing I can think about is he must have been watching Breaking Bad and doing yayo or he had to get
paranoia has to be involved because I don't get it. I tried to understand.
I can't understand.
Because I went to TMZ to look at the
make
details, and I was thinking I'd get more information.
Nope.
I felt more confused after going to the report.
Yeah, the police. By the way, the police report was confusing enough. Then the TMZ story is more confusing, and then the mental war that you go with yourself because you try to put yourself in that person's shoes, and you're like, hold up. This don't make sense unless, you were Jesse Pinkman, tweaking like a mug, looking out the window, and you're like, oh God, what's going on? What's going on? And you're seeing things that aren't there. I can't think of anything. All I know is thank the Lord that nobody got shot. But Shannon Brown, you was some serious trouble, Holmes. This is a 2-time NBA champion, by the way, which is also weird. Yeah, dropped a bunch of just tried to drop a cap at a couple people for just buying his home.
Hey, I remember he could dunk, though. Good God, he had bounce.
Good thing he's a better basketball player than he's a shot. I'll say that. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I got one more segment before I turn it over to Wolo and Stats. This is Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, it's The Herd. If you're now waking up and realizing that Mother's Day is only 2 days away, don't panic. But you do have to knock this out ASAP, right? Today is officially your last chance to celebrate all of the special moms in your life with 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, 1-800-Flowers has last chance Mother's Day gifts, bouquets, arrangements. Great way to make every mom feel loved when it matters most. An amazing selection of treats and sweets and bouquets. 1-800-Flowers has something for every mom. Committed to safety, too, of their team members and your family. 1-800-Flowers, all deliveries are contactless. And with limited delivery, you need to lock in your order early. So hurry and order today. Mother's Day gifts, bouquets, treats, arrangements. To order, go to 1-800-Flowers.com. Click the radio icon and enter the code HERD. Mother's Day is Sunday. Order today and save. 1-800-Flowers.com. Code HERD. Whether you're working from home or working on your fitness, you want what you're listening to be what you're listening to, right? Not what your roommates or family are listening to. Now is the perfect time to get a pair of premium wireless earbuds. Raycon is the way to go. Raycon start at about half the price of other premium brands on the market, and they sound just as amazing. Raycon's everyday E25 earbuds, the best model yet. You get 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a comfortable noise isolating fit. It's great for conference calls, video chats, or binging on podcasts. I do that too. It was co-founded by Ray J, and celebrities like Cardi B and J.R. Smith have already given Raycons their seal of approval. Now's your turn. See what the hype's about. Get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/herd. That's buyraycon.com/herd. 15% off. One more time. buyraycon.com/herd.
Do you get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Pull up a seat and grab a drink. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Let's go! This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Many a hand has scaled the grand old face of the plateau. Some belong to strangers and some to folks you know. Holy ghosts and talk show hosts are planted in the sand to beautify the foothills, shake the many hands. There's nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. You see a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs Jackson when you got words?
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your very good friend, John Harden. Follow me on Twitter at Johnny_radio. Follow my partner. That's at G_Coon71. And I'm talking about my radio partner. We friends. We ain't even brothers. Now, that's the Thomases who do it that way. They go Airbnb crazy style. But we did actually have Gabe's brother Alex on, and we're going to have him on a whole lot more. That was really cool. And we've had a great discussion from Major League Baseball. And I wanted to say thank you to all the texters at 67129. One guy texted and also said, Johnny, Ted W., you won't believe this. He also served 2 years as a Marine fighter pilot during the Korean War. Like, really? Like, wow.
Adds the legacy.
Heck, I'd have to look that one up. I'm going to read that one, and I will go ahead and trust it. But that's just, again, I'm adding to the legacy. Dude is a madman. Could absolutely hit like a maniac. And we talked about wide receivers. A lot of people dropped in. Some people threw in Marvin Harrison's. And, yes, Marvin Harrison, I believe, is 9th all-time in yards. But remember, he was catching from the man Peyton Manning, who was throwing for tons and tons of yards on that turf. Now ahead of him is Steve Smith and Tony Gonzalez and Isaac Bruce and Tim Brown. Isaac Bruce isn't even in the Hall of Deadgum Fame. So basically what I'm trying to say is this is one of those lists we can always talk about. Or, yeah, he's higher up there on Chris Carter's list, but then look at all the touchdowns. This is a very hard one. You know, Michael Irving with the touchdowns, you know, and the fact that it was, you know, Emmett, Troy, and Mike, and the way they did it for those 3 years was dominant like nobody else. I mean, there's all kinds of guys. And then going back in there and talking about a complete different era and going back to the Fred Biletnikoffs and the Lynn Swans and the Lance Allworths. My man coming in with, don't forget Steve Largent. Great day of discussion of all of the best.
By the way, I want to let you know you said Isaac Bruce wasn't in the Hall of Fame. He is.
Oh, that's
got
right.
in this year. It's so new, and we're so used to him not being in, though.
You know what? I'm really good at – we really haven't gotten, like, this year going, have we? Wow, it is right. But, yeah, thank goodness. Hey, by the way, was that a caller?
No.
Oh, you just remembered? Good job. I love people out there, by the way. Always keep it locked to Sports 56. And the last thing I want to say is about my man, Maine. Remember that? This is a dude who literally from Senegal, he plays soccer, makes $10 million a year. He's with a broken little phone, doing nothing. Somebody comes up to him, kind of tries to put him down almost. What does he say? Basically, gives the whole world a little test in humanity and says, I don't need to display luxury cars, luxury homes, trips, or even planes. I prefer that my people receive a little of what life has given me. I'm going to end on that. Make sure you get out there. Make this world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace!
Ugh, those nachos were rough on my stomach.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion,